So welcome everyone. Thanks again for being here. Good to see you all again after some time away. Let's start in a comfortable seat. Get yourself settled and support the hips off the ground if they're a little tight tonight. And let your arms just relax with the hands resting in your lap. And once you get settled here in this posture, gently close your eyes. Feel your shoulders soften. And allow the movement in the eyes to settle. And let your facial expression soften as well. Begin turning your focus and attention inward, starting with a full body scan. Take your time going through your own body and mentally checking in with yourself, observing and acknowledging how you are feeling this evening. Noticing what you're carrying in your body from the day that you've already experienced. And what your body might need from a mindful posture practice and deep breathing practice tonight. And notice where your thoughts are right now. And then invite them to settle as you bring your attention to the sound and sensation of your own breath. Noticing the sound quality and the texture of the air. And start to notice the movement in the body as you breathe. Expanding, contracting around the rib cage and the abdomen. But letting go of any other effort. Bring your attention now to your hips and that sensation of the contact between the floor and the back of your pelvis, the back of the thighs. And try to let go of any gripping or holding sensation from the hips or the inner thighs. Letting your legs feel heavy and connected to the floor. Notice the sensation of your ankles and feet touching the ground, the weight and the pressure of that contact. Let go of any holding or gripping in the toes, the ankles, or the calves. Then shift your attention to your spinal column, starting from the very base near the sacrum and tailbone. Imagine that rooting down into the earth. And then from your lumbar vertebra, a sensation of lengthening upward that gradually moves up the spine, all the way through the neck and out the crown of the head. With this tall, alert feeling in the upper body, start to just subtly deepen and lengthen your breathing until you arrive at a breath that you'll be coordinating with your movement throughout our posture practice. Once you've settled into that rhythm, you can float your eyes open. On an inhalation breath, reach your arms up over your head. And exhale the right hand to the ground and bend to the right, stretching through the side of the body. Keep reaching the left arm over your face, stretching down through the armpit and in between the ribs. And try and keep both sides of your hips connected to the floor. On your next breath in, push against the palm and reach up again through both arms. And then exhale the left hand down by your side. Bend that elbow and lean over to the left, stretching through your right side. Stay grounded through your seat. And then again, inhale, push off the palm, reach up through both arms. Exhale, release them. Good, roll the shoulders down and back a few times, taking some circles. Change direction of that circling. And then we're going to open the arms out to the side, sweep them behind you, and interlace your fingers. If they don't connect comfortably, use a strap to hold your hands together. Roll the shoulder blades and elbows back to open your chest and collarbones, and then gently reach the fist behind you, trying to straighten the elbows. You may notice that it's really tempting to arch your lower back a lot more when you do this. So if you're finding that, just draw it in a little bit so that you're just maintaining the natural curvature in the lumbar spine. Breathe really deeply, a few more rounds. And on an exhalation, let it go. Good. Change the cross of your ankles so that you just keep things even in the hips. And we're going to take a seated twist. Turn to your left and cross your right hand to the left knee and wrap your left arm around your lower back. Every time you inhale, sit up a little bit taller. And every time you exhale, press against that knee a bit more to help you twist. You can turn the head also to bring some of that into the neck. One more breath in. And exhale, unwind. Other side, turn to the right, crossing your left hand over to the right knee, and wrapping your right arm behind your low back. Getting tall as you breathe in, and rotating more as you breathe out. And on your next breath out, gently unwind that twist. Good, let's come into table pose on the hands and knees. You can put aside anything that you were sitting on for support. And we'll take a few rounds of spinal waves from here. On an inhalation, lift your tailbone, chest, and chin. And exhale, tuck the tailbone and chin as you round the back. And reverse, moving through these two directions, coordinating with your own breath. And feel free, of course, to add other directions of movement that might feel good in your spine. And then return back to a neutral table pose. Extend your arms forward, press your chest down toward the mat for half down dog, extending your spine and shoulders. Get nice and long here. Keep that breath really low. And then come on back up to your table pose. And let's take a low lunge. Step your right foot in between the hands and glide your left knee a little farther back. Point those toes and let your hips sink down toward the ground. Getting a nice stretch in the front of the left thigh and hip flexor. Take a twist, left hand stays down, rotate and raise the right arm up, turning the rib cage and the chest. And then optionally, you can wrap this arm around your lower back, taking a half bind, gliding that shoulder blade farther back to open your chest. If you're there, reach the right arm up again, and then take the hand to the floor. Good. Rock your hips back in space, and straighten your front leg for that half split or runner stretch. If this feels a little tight or stuck in your low back, you can put your hands up on blocks. Lift the toes off the ground and just press that heel against the floor, trying to get more length through the right hamstrings. The next time you exhale, come back into your low lunge. And then inhale, rise up, lifting the arms over the shoulders for a low crescent lunge. Feeling lots of lift up out of the lumbar spine, elevating the rib cage and your chest. One more breath in. And exhale, the hands back down. Tuck your back toes under and lift that knee off of the mat so you're in high lunge. Plant your palms and step to plank pose. Good, line the shoulders over the palms, squeeze the legs together and take 5 breaths here. With your last breath out, slowly lower your body to the ground. Point your toes, glide the shoulders back, and then rise up to a cobra pose. We'll hold here a few breaths. Let there be a little bend in the elbows, even if you're in a high cobra. You feel your shoulder blades glide down your back. Collarbones open. Nice expansion across the rib cage. The next time you exhale, let it go, rolling down, and then press back up to your knees. Let's take the left foot forward now for our low lunge. Slide your right knee back, point those toes, and settle down into the hips. Just notice if this side feels any different than the previous. We'll take our twist. The right hand stays down this time. Rotate and raise the left arm up. Really turning the body from the waist up. Every time you exhale, you can squeeze squeeze more through the abdomen to twist. And then optionally wrapping that left arm behind you for a half bind, working the shoulder blade farther back. Only if that feels good. If you're there, reach up again, and then take the hand back to the floor. Then we'll rock the hips back in space, straightening the front leg for our half split or under stretch. Taking the hands on blocks if it's feeling a bit tight. And just trying to get some length in that hamstring as we press the heel against the ground. Good, on an exhalation, come forward again into that lunge, and then inhale, rise up, finding your balance in low crescent lunge. Lifting up out of the lower back, trying not to sink there. On your last breath out, bring the hands back to the floor, tuck your back toes under, and lift that knee up, high lunge. Plant your palms and step into plank pose. Holding here 5 breaths, getting strong through your lower abdominals and lower back. Last breath in. And exhale, lower your body to the ground. Point your toes, glide your shoulders back and roll up to cobra. And this time, exhale, roll right down. Inhale, push up to your knees. Exhale, the hips back, and then up for your first downward facing dog. Adjust your feet spacing a little bit if you need to, and your hand spacing. And then find that strong contact through your fingers and palms as you really press back against your mat. Let your neck go. Move your head a little bit, loosening up any holding in the neck. Take 3 more breaths. On your last breath in, look toward the front of your mat, and as you exhale, walk up to your hands and end up in a standing forward fold, hanging over the legs. Let your head drop, and you can hold on to your elbows here and feel your shoulders melt down. If the hamstrings are on the tighter side, bend the knees a little bit so that you can get your upper body nice and close to the legs. Breathe into that space in your sides and lower back. And then place the hands at the front of your shins or ankles. Inhale and come to the flat back position, pressing against that point to help straighten the arms and your back. Hold here a few breaths, feeling your hip joints go back in space and the crown of your head go forward in space, lengthening in both directions. On an exhalation, fold down again, letting it go. Bend your knees and sit back like you're going to do chair pose, and then roll up through ragdoll, letting the arms hang the whole way until you're upright. And once you are, draw the shoulders down and back and feel mountain pose, standing tall. Ground down through your feet. Feel your sternum lift up. And then we'll take a few rounds of slow sun salutations. Inhale and reach the arms up. Exhale and dive forward over the legs. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step to plank pose. Take a deep breath in here and then exhale your body to the floor. Inhale to cobra pose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, push up. Exhale, find down dog. Stay here and breathe. Feel free to move around a little in down dog, stretch through the calves or the back of the legs a bit. Just gradually opening up the pose every time you arrive here. One more breath in, look toward the front of the mat, and then exhale, step there. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up now, sweeping the arms over the head. Exhale, arms to your sides. Second time, inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step to plank. One breath in. Exhale, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, push up. Exhale, find downward facing dog. Three more breaths. With your last inhalation, look forward. Exhale, step to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up and reach over your head. Exhale, release the arms. One more round. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. One more breath in. Exhale to the floor. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, push up. Exhale, back to down dog. Settle into that familiar shape. Free up any tension from the neck, from the muscles in the face. On your next breath in, look forward, and then exhale, step there. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release your arms. Let's come to a wide-legged forward fold. So face the side of your mat and separate the legs about as wide apart as you would for a warrior two position. And we're going to take that shoulder opening again with the hands behind the back. So you can either interlace the fingers or use a strap to connect. So find strength in the legs. Roll the shoulders and elbows back to open your chest and extend the arms behind you. When you're ready, fold forward, send the hips back, upper body forward and down, dropping the head and gradually letting your arms lift up and over. Again, free up any tension in the neck. You should be able to move your head easily, not holding it up. A few more breaths here. Check in with the legs. Keep that strong energy on the front of the thighs, gently squeezing them to help extend the knees. And we're going to release the arms first. Slowly bring them down. Separate the hands or put the strap down. And take the hands to the floor or blocks in between your feet. We're going to slowly lift halfway up. So lift your chest and head. Walk your hands or blocks forward so that your spine is parallel to the mat. Flat back position. From here, we'll take the twist. Right hand down. Rotate from your waist and raise the left arm up. Try your best to keep your pelvis level. You can Feel very easy to just drop the right hip in this pose. A little more challenging to keep the right hip level with the left one. Good, release the left arm, finding that flat back position to start again. And now twist to the other side. Left hand down, rotate from the waist, and raise your right arm. Trying your best to keep the left hip level with the right. Good, exhale the right hand down, you're in your flat back position. Bring your hands to your waist and press the hips forward to come upright. Good, let your arms relax for a moment. Look over at the front of your mat and turn those toes forward. For me, that's my left foot, but do whichever side faces the front of your mat. Angle your back heel a little farther back. We're going to set up for triangle pose. Get strong through the legs and open the arms out to the sides. Rock your hips back and lean your upper body forward and pivot the arms. I'm laughing because my husband hates this pose and he's laughing right now that I came into it. Good, so if you also don't like this pose, if you're not comfortable behind your knee, you might want to bend your knee a little bit. It might pull a little too much in the attachments of your hamstrings for you to be comfortable. You could also try taking your hands higher up. If the blocks you have don't suffice, you could use the seat of a chair. I just use my shin bone. As long as you're not pushing on your kneecap, you can really use your shin, or I grab the calf muscle for support as well. Good, let's contract the abdominals, exhale, and lift your upper body. Good, relax the arms, and we're just gonna pivot the feet. So the front toes are now gonna become the back ones. So I rotate that foot in, and now you're facing the opposite end of your mat. So turn those toes out. For me, that's my right foot. Legs are straight, open the arms again, rock the hips back, lean the upper body forward, and then pivot the arms. Taking some part of that lower leg or stack of blocks for the bottom hand. Good, nice deep breath. Good, on an exhalation, contract your core, lift your upper body, and relax the arms. Turn the front toes in, and then just kind of heel toe a few times until you can stand upright with the feet together. Okay, we're gonna come into a standing balance. So our standing balancing pigeon pose. You're gonna stand with your feet hip width apart, bend your knees a little bit, and already angle your hip joints back slightly, like you're preparing for chair pose. We're gonna stand on the left foot first, so help take your right foot and cross the ankle to the thigh. Just like when we do this lying down the back. And then we want to send the hip joints back even more as you now lean your upper body forward. You can join the palms together in front of the heart. You could hold on to a piece of furniture or to a wall in your space. You'll feel that the deeper you bend the leg you're standing on, the more intense you're going to feel that stretch in the hip. So you're really in charge of how low you go in this pose. You can always dial it back if it's too much. Beautiful, everybody. Inhale, come up. If you haven't, uncross the leg. Let the arms relax. Maybe rock the hips a little, bend the knees a bit. Just let go of some of that energy. And when you're ready for the other side, start with your feet parallel, hip width apart. Bend your knees a little bit. Send your hips back. And then we're standing on the right foot. So help use your hands to cross the left ankle into the middle of your right thigh muscles. Then angle your hips farther back if you can, while you now lean your upper body farther forward. Join the palms together or hold something for balance. And focus now on your breathing here as your body tries to maintain its equilibrium. On an inhalation, rise up, uncross the leg, relax the arms, and just stand in mountain pose for a moment. Feel your shoulders glide down your back. Connect through both of your feet. Slow down your breathing as you stand tall. Good. If you're no longer at the front of your mat, go ahead and return there. And we're going to come through a half sun salutation to get back to the floor. Inhale and reach the arms up. Exhale, fold over the legs, rocking your head. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your palms, and walk back to downward facing dog. Let your head and neck drop. Find length through your arms and through your back. And take 5 deep breaths. With your last breath out, lower your knees to the floor and come into child's pose. Point the toes, sit down on your heels, and let your upper body come forward, relaxing the arms and shoulders. You can take as much or as little space between the knees as is comfortable for you. And try and soften the calves. Let go of any gripping in the hip flexors. You feel your whole body just give in to the energy of this shape, really letting go. When you're ready to come out, you can lift yourself back up, and we're going to return to downward facing dog. From there, we're going to be coming into our pigeon pose. So if you use support for your hip there, you might want to have that on the right side of your mat. So from down dog, let's start by raising the right leg up into the air. We're going to hold here a few breaths in 3-limb dog, pressing strongly through both hands. Then look forward, bring the right knee to your chest, shift forward like plank pose, and then place the knee in between the hands. Slide your left leg back. Open your right knee out to the side, about a 2 o'clock angle, and if you're using support for the hip, go ahead and place it there. And then fold forward and down whenever you feel ready. And your back toes can be either pointed or tucked under, whatever feels best for your foot. Sometimes the arch of the foot can cramp here, so if you find that maybe you're happier with the toes tucked, or maybe your ankle feels better with the toes pointed, so that's not really significant to the rest of the pose. Do what's comfortable. Once you feel settled in the hips, close your eyes, and however far down you've gotten in your upper body, try and let go of any extra energy. Even if you're propped up on something like a support or on your elbows, just try and be soft, using as little effort as possible to stay here. 3 more deep breaths. And when you're ready to come out of the forward bend, lift your upper body and walk the hands back in. For a downward facing dog, you're going to start by dragging your back knee in a little bit. This shifts the upper body weight over the hands. And then when you're ready, press up and back. Once you're in down dog, it's nice to pedal the legs a few times. You can alternate bending each knee and really stretching down the back of the calves and Achilles. And then eventually let that settle into your down dog. And then we're going to raise the left leg up into the air, finding 3-limb dog, holding here just a few brief moments. Press equally through both of your hands. And then look forward. Bring your left knee to your chest, shift forward like plank, and then put the knee in between the hands. Slide your right leg back. Open that knee out to a 10 o'clock angle if you can, and support the hip if you're using it before folding forward. Just little by little, finding the depth in the pose that works for your body. And then once you are there, letting your body soften into the shape, just letting go of any unnecessary effort, and being here with your breath. If you're ready to come out, lift your head and walk your hands back in toward the front leg. Slide your back knee farther forward until the upper body weight is over your hands, and then press back, lifting the down dog for the last time. Once you're there, pedal back and forth through the legs a little bit, rocking side to side, bending each knee a few times. And then settle into stillness. Just take a few deep breaths here, finding length in the pose. And then bring the knees to the floor. All right, we're going to finish our sequence tonight on the back. And I'm going to have you take your blocks, 1 or 2 of them for supported bridge pose. So go ahead and take your time coming down onto your back. And before we do that supported bridge, we're going to start here with just a little bit of movement in the hips to give them one final release. So you can separate your feet about as wide apart as your yoga mat with your knees bent. Open your arms out to the sides and just drop the knees back and forth from side to side like windshield wipers. Feeling your low back rotate. And the next time that the knees go to the right side, let them stay down there, feeling a heaviness through the legs. And try to press the inside of your left knee all the way down toward the floor. It may not touch, and don't force it to do that, but really find that internal rotation of the thigh bone. You can also reach your left arm up and over your head if you like, getting more length down that side of the body from the armpit all the way to the hip. And you can release, let the arm come out to the side, lift the knees up, and now drop the knees to the left. Feel a heaviness in the legs, and then press the inside of your right knee lower down toward the floor. Feel how that stretches the hip flexor and the quad. You can raise your right arm up and over your head as well, getting more length through that side as you breathe here. And when you're ready to release, let the arm come back out, pick the knees up, and scoot the feet together. All right, let's take that block or blocks, however much height you like underneath you. We're gonna come into supported bridge pose. So plant your feet hip width apart, lift your hips up, and place that block underneath you. I usually do it in the wide orientation, so I have as much surface area as possible to support my sacrum. And if you're using two, grab that second one, lift up, and stack it on the bottom one. Make sure it's really supporting the back of the hips and that it's not in the arch of the low back. That will not feel so good. And if you need to kind of shimmy the shoulders or adjust your upper back so everything's laying comfortably, go ahead and do that. And then just find a comfortable place for your arms. That might be down, out, it might be hands on the abdomen, wherever you can let them relax comfortably. We're going to start here with both feet firmly planted on the mat, just feeling the weight of your pelvis really sink into the support. Trust that support underneath you and try and relax your hamstrings and your glutes. Really letting go the downward energy from your pelvis through your blocks. Let your shoulders be heavy. Just notice the rise and fall of your breath here. Feel your abdomen expand and contract. And then we'll take a little variation here to stretch those psoas and hip flexors more deeply. You're going to slide one leg forward. So I'm going to start with my left. Let the left leg come forward and just let it relax out in front of you. The right foot should still support the pose so that knee is bent. And as you're here with this variation, see if you can feel your exhalation draw your navel even deeper toward your spine. Using that phase of the breath to help give a little more stretch and pull in the upper part of the psoas muscle. Go ahead and switch legs. Carefully bring your left foot back into the bridge and slide your right foot forward, letting that leg extend and relax out in front of you. Focus on that slightly exaggerated exhalation, drawing the navel as far down toward you as you expel the air from the lungs. And when you're ready to release, drag that foot back under you. Pause here for a few moments. And then bring your arms down alongside the body if they weren't there. Press against your feet, engage your glutes and hamstrings, and hover your hips above your block or blocks. And remove them from under you, put them aside, and roll your spine and hips down to the floor. Just pause there for a moment, letting your spine get used to being its natural curvature again. Let your pelvis settle. And then we're going to slide the left leg down onto the ground and gently draw the right knee to your upper body, hugging it toward you little by little as you breathe out. All right, so let the exhalation phase help bring this leg toward the body. Nothing else. Let the quality in both legs be completely relaxed and soft. So if you sense effort anywhere, try to let that go. And when you're ready to release, let go of the knee, slide the right leg down to the ground, and bring the left knee into your chest, just gradually drawing it toward you as you exhale. Trying to let every muscle in both legs be relaxed. And when you're ready to release, let go of the knee and let that leg come down. We're going to come back to the right side. Bring that knee in, but not as close to you this time. And we're going to cross it over the body for a reclined twist. Let the right arm float out to the side to counter the leg. And you can give yourself a little adjustment by sliding your bottom hip over to the right side of the mat a bit. And let the whole body melt into this shape. When you're ready to come out, gently unwind. Plant both feet on the ground and adjust your hips so they're centered below you. Just pausing there briefly to let the spine settle. And then slide your right leg down again. Bring your left knee in, but not all the way. And then cross it over for the twist. Adjusting the pose by sliding your bottom hip over to the left a little bit. And then letting the body melt. And when you're ready to unwind, exhale, undo the twist, bend both knees and adjust your hips so they're centered below you. Pausing here briefly. We'll end with happy baby pose. Bring both knees in, separate them wider than the ribs. Lift the feet if that's possible and hold the outer feet or ankles. If this doesn't work for you, you can keep them down and just hold your shins. Feel free to take rocking motion if that feels nice in your body. Be here about 5 to 10 breaths. When you're ready to release, bring the feet down and the knees together. Give your legs one last little hug in toward you. And then get ready for Shavasana, final relaxation. Make sure you're nice and comfortable. You can get any props that you'd like to support your body. A blanket. Once you feel settled and relaxed, close the eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel your lower jaw release and let all the muscles in your face soften. Feel the throat and tongue relax. And invite your natural breath to return to the body. Let go of any lingering active energy. And enjoy these few minutes of deep rest. attention back into your body and take a few deep breaths as you just start to move a little bit and transition away from the state of rest. And eventually bend your knees, roll over to one side of your body into a fetal pose. Notice how you feel right now. Whenever you're ready, come upright and find a seated posture again, just like we began. Take a few moments just to sit with your breath. Breathe a little more deeply than you just were during Shavasana. And let that energy fill your body from head to toe. And we'll end our practice chanting Om one time. You can bring the palms together in front of your heart and take a deep breath in. Exhale and gently bow your head, acknowledging yourself for making time and space to practice tonight and expressing gratitude to your body. And thank you all so much for being here tonight. It was great to see you all again. Namaste. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And I hope that you all saw in my email that the morning class is going to be Friday this week. So I hope you can still make it then.